Hey YouTube. Today I'm gonna be talking about dealing with anxiety before interviews. I know how that can be, being that I've been on a few interviews. It can be very nerve-wracking if you're not prepared. So I just want to give you some weapons, some counterattacks on anxiety when you're having an interview or. Okay. So dealing with anxiety before interview. Found some of these tips online, and I think they're really good. By the way, the 30-minute exercise, worrying about it later, has been working. I've been a little bit more active, like with talking with people and getting a little nervous and saying, hey, okay, I'm worried about this later. But I find that it doesn't help me with actually going to do it. Like I understand that I have to push myself. And it's best not to avoid, situations where there's going to be a lot of people. But that's something that I happen to do, and that's something that I need to push myself more to work on. But dealing with an anxiety when you have an interview, it says treat yourself well. Avoid caffeine, get enough sleep, and exercise. Exercise regularly, By following these 3 steps, 3 simple rules, you will greatly reduce interview anxiety. Greatly. That sounds greatly good. It also says close your eyes and visualize. And they say this works for basketball players. Like right before they play a game, they usually like visualize themselves winning. So I guess you just close your eyes and you take slow breaths and you just visualize you winning that interview. And that'll help, that'll add on to it visually, So close your eyes and visualize you winning winning. Close your eyes and visualize you gaining that employer, that interviewer, that person who's going to hire you and say you're okay for the job. Just imagine them saying, yes, you've got it, But yeah, you're going to do good anyway. Okay. So another one is reduce stressors. So anything that's stressing you out, like just stay away from it. Like if you gotta stay on Facebook for a couple of days, something is stressing you out, don't go on there. You got a situation that's really bothering you, leave it for another time. But right before that interview, have less stress as much as possible. Another thing, interview the interviewer. Because when you go on an interview, like that person is, in a powerful position, they're looking down at you, they're judging you, this and that and the third, or whatever. Make sure, like, you have some questions down for them. Ask them some questions about their establishment or, things that you want knowledge on, things that you might need to know. And even if you already know them, just ask questions anyway. But if it's going to help, you with your anxiety, to help you cope with it, why not? Just ask questions just to ask questions. But make sure, they're sensible questions, but that's going to help you, why not? Interview the interviewer. Next one is release anxious energy that no one will notice, such as wiggling your toes. So I guess that means like, you talking to the interviewer, or you might like just, be waiting, to talk. You're waiting in the waiting area or whatever that is, and you get nervous or whatever. Maybe like wiggle your toes instead of tapping your foot, because people tend to notice that, but wiggle your toes or whatever. I kind of like it. To me, if you are still showing anxiety, but you are putting your best effort forward and you're doing good, then it is what it is. Like, you're not the only one that has anxiety. There's thousands of people, billions of people who have it. So if you need to tap your foot or whatever like that, but you're selling yourself in that interview, then tap your foot, shake your leg, But as long as your words are steady, everything is coming out clearly, and you understand what you are saying, and the employer and the employer understands what you're saying, that's all that matters. Like, it's normal to have anxiety, but if you're pushing, like, when you're pushing yourself and you show it, it is what it is. But don't be like, oh, he seen me. I showed him he seen my handshake and whatever it is. It happens to the best of them, But as long as you're pushing yourself, which is something I have to do. But as long as you're pushing yourself, that's all that matters. We all know it's good. It's hard for us to do it sometimes, or to tell somebody else what's good. Anyway, these are coming from my heart. And off the internet. But I can visualize and I can see like these things will actually help. Be prepared. I'm preparing myself right now. I'm trying to go to culinary school. I was thinking about going to Job Corps, but I'm not. I'm going to. I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to do everything in a timely fashion. And with Job Corps, it's the waiting process, so I might just go downtown to check out to see what culinary schools they have downtown. But be prepared. I am going to be going to a school interview for my first choice of school downtown on 14th Street for culinary. I'm going to go there. I went to the library today with my sister. We did some research. I did some research. She was upstairs in the kids section of the library, but I was in the adult section and I did some research on the school that I chose, and then I looked up this and it says be prepared. And I'm like, wow, that's what I'm doing. I'm on the right path here. I guess it just takes time, baby steps. But be prepared. Like, what I did was I looked up information about the school. I looked up, the influential people that they have there. When did their schools start? What do they specialize in? And one of the things about the school that stood out and that they make stand out is that they're hands-on. It's hands-on learning, and I love hands-on learning. A lot of people do. But that's one of the things that they're proud of. So in my interview, I mentioned if she ever asks me, why did you choose this school? I'll let her know because it's hands-on, and that's what I love. I love to be hands-on. It's nothing better than learning and with your hands, like watching and doing and learning as you go. Like you're touching everything. You're doing the measurements. You're not just sitting down and watching somebody. Hands-on is like the best thing for me, so I'll be sure to let her know that. That's what the school, put a big emphasis on, hands-on. Just a lot of things about the school, whatever. I educated myself about them, and when you're going on a job interview or whatever you're going, make sure you know the background of your employer, like the background of your basically that, yeah. I'm sorry, YouTube. I be all over the place sometimes. But anyway, just make sure you know like the background of your job, like what they really care about, and just different things, like different facts. When were they first established, and things like that. Like it's good to know these things because you never know what your interview is going to ask you. And you always want to charm them, like, hey, I know when your school was, first built, or however you work that, because it's kind of like that. But however you work it in there, they love to know that you educated yourself before you came to the interview. That's always a plus. Make sure your clothes is out, the day before or the week before if you want. But just so you be prepared, so that way you're like less anxious. Like you're like, oh, I didn't do this, or I didn't do that, or I don't really like what I'm wearing. You got the whole day, to get comfortable with it. You got the whole week if you choose to get comfortable with it. You have time, so that's something that you're not worried about. Basically, yeah, just anything that you can be prepared with. Like make sure you have your pen in your bag. Make sure you got, if you have your certificate that they need, make sure you have that. If they need your diploma, make sure you have a bag packed, pack your bag, the night before, the day before. That way, there's less anxiety and less worry about, oh, did I get this? Did I bring that? Where's this in my bag? It's there. You just have to take your time to look for it. Things like that. That happens to me all the time. And after the interview, congratulate yourself. Don't be like, hey, I could have did better here, I could have did better there, this and that and third. It's just leading you into depression, and that's what anxiety does. If you don't try to fight it now, it eventually lead you into depression, suicide, and other things. So don't beat yourself up. Just let yourself congratulate yourself after you leave. Like, yep, I did that. I'm proud of myself, and keep moving. Something else I had copied down was coping with anxiety. It says this is what people with social anxiety, which is, I believe that's exactly what I have, because I can't stand to be around a crowd. And the funny thing about it is, I can be around strangers, but it's more so like people that I tend to get close with. Like, for a long time, me and my husband, like, I kind of had anxiety around him. Like, when I didn't know him too much, I was laughing and joking and laughing and whatever like that. I just said laughing. But I was doing all of that. And then when we got closer and we had to know each other, and then I'm like, really, this person really has to get to know me like that, I got so nervous, and shy and scared, because it's going all together with, a person judging you, and seeing you, and I don't know. But like I said, for me, I'm more comfortable around strangers than I am, around people that I've known for a long time sometimes. But it differs. Like, when I'm with a person every single day, like I was with my husband for like the longest time and we didn't separate, I've grown to be more comfortable around him. It's I don't know, it's the thing with me. When I'm around you all the time, that's how I grow comfort. But I have to be around you at least, for like a year or 2 or 3. Like, I have to every day. Like, me and my husband were together. This is the longest time, we've been apart ever since we've been together. Like, we were always together. And so I adapt with him. But like I said, I don't know, I'm weird. It is what it is. But it says coping with anxiety. It says you can do a number of things to help coping with social anxiety disorder. Some including practicing relaxing. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna read this over for y'all, because I don't know what's going on with me. It's like I can't read or something. Jeez. I did write this myself, though. Maybe that's why. Okay. You can do a number of things to help cope with social anxiety disorder. Some include practicing relaxing exercises. So basically, I guess like with the breathing, like I said in part 2 of anxiety, we don't fully exhale. So when we breathe, exhale fully out, and then but slowly. Or you can look at the ceiling sometimes, don't look down, and that kind of helps. There's another thing I had mentioned, I haven't been doing it, but just exercises that relax you, calm you down. Anything that relaxes you, that's not a bad habit, like smoking cigarettes, or weed, or drinking, or whatever. Like, anything positive that relaxes you, do it. If it's going to a spa, if you can afford it. I can't afford to go to no spa. Maybe when I start working. But if you can do it, it'll help you relax. Or just meditate. I did mention in part 2, I believe. I don't know, I'm losing track of my videos. I did mention meditate. Meditation could be really good too. What else does it say? It says getting enough sleep. Woo! I need to do that. I'll be up to like 4 o'clock in the morning, and I gotta make prayer, and I gotta do it. I'll be abusing my body. So get enough sleep, and eat a well-balanced diet. Yeah, I gotta do that too. But eat a well-balanced diet. It says it is important not to avoid the situations that make you anxious. I do that all the time. But I'm happy that I've heard, it's not okay to do that. And I know it's not okay to do that, but sometimes when you hear it from another place, it's like a check for you, like, okay, it's not okay to do that. I need to socialize. I need to push myself to socialize. So and it says, although in the short term avoidance may reduce your anxiety, in the long term it will make things worse, which it does. as far as like, people, like at first they might want to get to know you, whatever like that. A group, they might want to get to know you, and it's like as you go on and you're not participating with everything, or you're not around as much, people tend to be like, well, she don't like us, or he don't like us, or maybe, I don't know, but for some reason, I don't know if they ever think of, well, that person might be nervous or whatever like that. I don't know. Maybe some people do. I don't know. But it really sucks. It really sucks, because then you miss out on a lot of opportunities and a lot of friendships and everything like that. So it's best to just push yourself to do it. I've missed out on a lot, and I've said that before. Like, I've missed out on a lot, and I just I need to push myself a lot more. Like, I've always bust out and worrying, and it's not good. So, like it says, I'm gonna read it again. It's important not to avoid the situations that make you anxious. Although in the short term, avoidance may reduce your anxiety, in the long term, it will make things worse, and it does. If you find yourself feeling anxious, it may help to remind yourself that you can get through the situation, that your anxiety is usually short-lived, and that your worst fears are not likely to come true. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm trying to be strong for y'all, but I'm just reading myself, I need some of y'all to be strong for me. Let's be strong for each other. I can't always be a strong one. This thing is just taking over my life. I remember, being a little child, and maybe like about 5, I can remember, and that's probably when I was like anxiety free, like 5 and down. Yeah. And it's like once I came over here, once I made a move and I started going to my school across the street, 306, it was like 4th grade. That's probably what got it for me. Like I said, I've always been like up and down in my weight, and I was really, a chubby kid, and I used to be picked on like all the time. And I've always been, like, for most of my life, like, excluded from certain things. I don't know why it was always, I guess because it was my weight, but just like certain situations, I would just be like excluded, and I wouldn't know why. But it's just a lot of situations that went on. I'm ugly, or you ugly, you fat, you stink. Every time somebody farted, of course, it had to be the biggest one in the room, which was usually me. And so I guess over the years of hearing that, because I started to believe it, and I developed a really low self-esteem. Like, I'm still fighting with my self-esteem, today. And I'm just now being like, okay, you don't look bad, you look good. I'm just now, out of, I'm 22 years old, and I know I'm not extremely old, but, I went through stuff for a long time. Went through a lot of insecurities. I was with guys when I was at a young age, and they didn't treat me right, and so that added on to me looking at myself like, ugh, what's wrong with you that you can't get nobody right? Even though I was just young and I shouldn't have been dating at that age. But I went through a lot with people, and I know I'm not the only one. And may God continue to strengthen the ones that it didn't affect. And may God strengthen the ones that it did, because it affected me to the point where, I was nervous. My hands used to shake, I used to panic when I had to go to the bathroom and I had to walk past the class. Like, I panic when I see a whole bunch of people. Like, I get nervous. I get really nervous. My heart starts to race. I might sweat. I might walk a little funny, I might change up in speech. It's just so embarrassing, but it's really a mental problem. It is, and I'll be ashamed to admit that, because I already go through so much, but to have on top of what else I'm not talking about that I go through, it's just, it's real crazy. But I just gotta push myself. I'm already trying to, slow my pace down and try to do more better for myself. I think that'll do a lot for me. Like I said before, I was thinking about going to job corps. I don't know if I said this before. I recorded this video over. I might have. But I'm thinking about going to job corps, and I think that it's probably going to take a little while. Usually I hear people are waiting on the waiting list for that. So that's why I want to just go downtown. But I really want to hurry up and do what I need to do for myself. It feels good already, like just dipping my toe in the water. It feels good. I'm happy that I started doing that. I never go to the library and just sit down and take down a whole bunch of notes. But I was just in there like looking up everything, and I'm so proud of myself because I made a list. I made a list and I completed everything on my list that I needed to look up. And usually I make a list and I don't even go through everything. But that helps too. Like, preparation really helps my people with anxiety disorders. It really does help. It helps me. I hope it can help you too. But I completed everything. I'm just so proud of myself. But we just gotta push ourselves to do better. Nobody's gonna do it for us. We're not going to have people who sympathize with us. I don't want sympathy. I just want understanding, But you're not going to have a lot of people who will take the time out to understand, So you just got to push yourself. You just got to love yourself more. You have to care about yourself more. You have to put yourself on a pedestal like you do everybody else. Nobody's perfect. Trust and believe nobody's perfect. I know I got a past behind me, and I know a lot of people might know. I know a lot of people might not know. I'm not ashamed to admit anything that I've done in the past. And yes, my husband knows about everything, and so does my family. I'm just one in personal. I just gotta say. But at the same time, nobody else is perfect. Everybody has a past. Don't let nobody be in front of you talking about, oh, I ain't never do that. I never do this. When they just did it the other day. You understand? You just won't know because you wasn't there. But it's true. Nobody's perfect. So don't beat yourself up. I'm gonna try to not beat myself up. Let's not beat ourselves up together. Let's protect ourselves. Let's love ourselves. Let's care about ourselves, And hopefully God will bless us on our journey. But until next time.